Hey YouTube, welcome to the Off-Grid Mountain Homestead. This is FLEXSOLAR briefcase 200 watt folding solar panels, real world application, or real world testing part 1. This is the first real life application to use these panels. So I got a little help from the old Kubota here. You may have seen it in some previous videos. You know, she's an old girl, but she's remote from the house and from any support equipment, and the battery's kind of weak. Had a bunch of temperatures in the 20s. The battery's a little weak, got a cell in it going bad, so I have to charge it if it sits more than a couple of weeks to use it. So I'm going to be demonstrating a real world application. So if you had a piece of equipment that was out in the woods a good ways away, you don't want to pull a generator out or get a power box and a battery charger or what have you, you can use these FLEXSOLAR panels to charge a battery. So I'm going to set it up and we'll see how long it takes to charge the battery, starting voltage, ending voltage, all that good stuff. I've got the panels deployed facing the sun angle. It's pretty good right now. So I got them set up using the best angle I can match with the current low winter sun that we're having, or excuse me, autumn. It's not winter yet, but it's pretty low. Pretty low sun angle. But I got the battery cable adapters wired into the PWM controller. So you have to put them in right there. It's got a little, use a control screwdriver and set them up. And you want your panels unplugged and hooked to your battery first. You don't want to hook it straight up, so it needs a reference point. So you always hook your battery up first so the controller knows what the reference voltage is. So I've got it hooked up to the battery. And as you can see, it's not completely flat. It's 12.6, which is decent. But I know this battery has a weak cell, and if the voltage is this low on the battery, the lawnmower will not start this diesel, especially when it's cold. So there's the starting voltage, and I'm going to hook up the solar panels, and we're going to see what the voltage spikes to and see how long it takes. I've got the panels hooked up to the pulse width modulation charge controller, and it is indicating that it's charging. So it's charging at 13.7 volts right now, and its rated current is up to 20 amps. And it's a nice little controller. It's got USB charging on it, and this is a waterproof panel, so you can leave it outdoors. And if you're worried about the USBs getting wet, if you're using it for camping or an RV or something, you can. It's got a Velcro latch under there. If you can, so I can get you to see that. See the Velcro latch, and it's on the back of this controller. So if it does start raining and you're using it, you can just tuck that controller up, and the rain will sheet off the back of it. So we'll give it a little while, see how it charges, and then we'll do a test start. See if we got enough juice in the battery to let her rip. So I'll be back in a few minutes. I really like these panels, monocrystalline panels, a lot better than the old flexible panels that you get with some of your power boxes and stuff. This is real glass, real monocrystalline panels, waterproof, real nice. And it's got a metal frame, metal kickstand, so you can adjust your angle to your sun. So very nice set of panels. A little heavier than the regular folding style panels. I think the ship weight on these was 38.5 pounds. So, you know, a little bit bulkier than, you know, little flimsy, flexible style folding panels, but this is real glass, real panels. And for a 200 watt panel, it's two 100 watt panel series together. But for a 200 watt panel, really 38 pounds is not bad, because my 400 watt panels that I got, the big commercial panels, they weigh almost 70 pounds a piece. So, you know, not too bad a weight on it, considering it's got the kickstands and the controller and all that stuff on it too. So, you know, 38 pounds, 38.5 pounds is not really bad. And also, like, it's got bumper guards, protectors here. So if you lose them, it actually comes with extra ones to replace them with. So it keeps the frame protected from impacts and stuff while it's folded. Protects the corner of that glass, which is real nice too. But so far, I like the FLEXSOLAR panels, and you may have seen this in a video on Southern Prepper 1's channel. So you can check out that video if you'd like to. Give you a little more details on the controller, but I'll be giving you details too as I test this in multiple real world situations. This is not a Hollywood production. This is real life, you know, real stuff, real equipment, real testing. See how it holds up. It's been about 20 minutes. I got the old field piece meter out here to see if our readings are the same. On the battery is what the pulse width modulation controller is showing. We're showing 14.2 volts DC on the field piece meter, and the pulse width controller showing 14.2. So yeah, she's getting pretty close to being fully charged in 20 minutes. Nice. I didn't let the charger do its complete job. It's got an algorithm and it's programmed currently for lead acid. It'll go to 14.4, hold it there for a little bit, and then drop down to 13.7 as a float while it's hooked up. I didn't let it do that because I need to use the lawnmower today to move some small logs and timbers around. So I didn't let it go through its full algorithm for charging, but you know, it gave me enough boost to get it going, and that's the important part of this test, to show that it will charge you in just a few minutes and get you going. You might be wondering what the charge rate would be on a set of panels like this with the controller. These panels are rated at 200 watts. Probably will never see 200 watts. There's another video coming that'll show the true wattage on them. But you have to have ideal conditions, ideal sun angle, clear sky, right temperatures, angles. There's so many variables that go into it. But let's say, you know, if they're rated at 200 real world, if we're getting, you know, 140 to 150 out of these, that would equate to a 10 amp charge rate on a battery. So, you know, not bad. Not bad at all, considering it's easy to set up. You don't have to pull out a power box or a generator and use a regular charger and all that stuff. So you get basically, you know, for sake of math and argument, and just say you get roughly a 10 amp charge rate off of this. So even if you carried one of these panels camping or boondocking, or, you know, if you was in your truck and you were tent camping, had to use your truck battery for something, you could always use this to get you a boost on a battery if you run it down or done something to it. If you had room in the back of your camping rig or trail rig to carry something like this, you could even get away with a smaller one, but you know, that'd be another good real world use for these. About 35 minutes into the test. Let's see what we're showing here. Showing 14.2. We're going to unplug the solar panels from the controller. Let's see what the resting voltage falls to on the battery. We start at 12.6, which is indicative of a good battery, but I know this battery and this diesel engine, it will not start at 12.6 if it's been sitting. So we're settling in about 12.9, which if you let it sit, it would drop. But I said, this old cantankerous diesel, we're gonna fire off here in just a second, see if she'll rip after a 35-minute charge on these panels. And let's see what the field piece is showing. 12.82 volts. So we picked up 0.2122 of a volt in 35 minutes. And I said, since it's got a weak cell in it, that should have topped that cell off enough to let her fly. So let's crank her up and see if she does it. Glow plugs. Much better starting with a freshly charged on the battery, a little fresh top off. So I tried to start this thing yesterday and it would not fire off. It run the battery down, so the cells recovered overnight, but I said weak cell in the battery. This is just a makeshift get by till I can find a good deal on a replacement battery. But proof of concept work. The panels topped the battery off and allowed me to start that cold-natured diesel beast right there without having to pull out a generator and a charger or bring a power box and a charger to top the battery off to let her rip. So, you know, worked pretty good. Very impressed with the FLEXSOLAR on this application. So we'll be testing on the power box next in a future video. We'll see how it does on a charging a little power box up, a little solar generator, see how she does. But I like these panels a lot, I really do. I'll put a link in the description so you can look these panels up. And if you have any questions about it, just stick it in the comments. I'll answer it the best I can, because I know this video is not all inclusive. More details coming on these panels in future videos, but just an intro to them today, a real world test, an application that you could use them on. So I hope you liked the video. Thank you for watching the Off-Grid Mountain Homestead. Stay tuned, like, comment, subscribe.